Hi guys, it's me again. Today I will show you my aggressive center spots and other building spots for the engineer on PL Barn Blitz. As an aggressive engineer I like using the shotgun, the Wrangler and the Jag. Since the Jag has reduced firing power or weapon damage in general, I like to defend myself with the shotgun. And the Wrangler for defense, and I generally don't like the pistol. So out of the gates we will be placing down a sentry right here. We can smack it a little bit, help pushing the cart, and in general spy check this area because spies like these corners a lot. As do pyros, just standing here and waiting for people to come out to them. But we will have a sentry right there. At this point you can decide either just push the cart, put down a teleporter right there and just hope no one sees it. You can also go and put down metal into your sentry and have it be level 2. This is a fairly good spot for a sentry actually, because few people expect it, and the only real sightline that you can't fire against them with is snipers up there. You can of course also put down a sentry right here. With this you have defense with the tires, but I generally don't find success in this area because usually sentries are here or around here, which means there's a lot of traffic back and forth between these two places. So they will immediately notice your sentry and it will just get shot down. And you can not really kill these snipers with it, and they can just annihilate this little sentry here. As the cart comes up to this area with the shack and the slope, I like to move back, and if you haven't already, I place down this teleporter entrance right now, and I grab my level 2 at this point. It should be level 2 by now, so before you move it up, upgrade it to level 2 and then move it, because I find having it be level 1 standing there, it gets shot down way too easily. And the reason why it's standing there is to defend people just shooting down your team from up here, and it defends your team from people shooting you or coming from here. This area of course they are still defended by the chicken fence and can still shoot you down, which is when you're pushing the cart you look up here and make sure people don't do that. When I hear that the cart is nearing a checkpoint, I'm either on the cart or I should be near it. I place down a teleporter here. This is why we had an entrance already placed, and I will take my sentry and place it right there. This will defend the area from hooligans in here, because there will be so many sentries in here and there will be so many people in here that you will need this little backup. Make sure when you're pushing the cart that you do it from behind, because that's how you get metal from it. And if it's necessary, if your team are having trouble pushing into this area, put down a dispenser for the team. It helps. Put it down by the wet paint. When the first point is capped, I like to run forward with my level 2, making of course sure that this area is clear to begin with, and place down my sentry right here. Remember to keep your sentry at level 2 the entire time, because it redeploys a lot faster than a level 3. As the cart is being pushed, you can either decide to go back and pick up your teleporter or destroy it and build a new one. This depends a little bit if you upgraded your teleporter on the first point. I generally don't, because it's such a short distance and it's more that I want the entrance ready for this teleporting. So when you hear this dinging, you will upgrade your teleport at least level 2. Level 3 is not necessary because it's still a pretty short distance, but level 2 is nice. And as it's standing still, you can stand behind and just get free metal forever. So moving forward, there is this hideous balcony area where at most I've seen like 6 sentries. So what you want to do is to have a dispenser about here for your team, because the cart might accidentally get pushed too far forward and then you can't really use it. And having a source of ammo and health is always nice. This isn't a priority to upgrade, but it can always be nice if you have the spare metal, and if you have the spare metal and your team really needs this. If a lot of people huddled around this thing, make sure to upgrade it. Don't just stand there and do nothing. With the cart then moving forward, Around here, like just before it gets to the trapdoor, I jump, grab my sentry and put it here. I put the sentry down first, because if there's a sentry there, it just shoots down my sentry, and I will know, okay, don't go there. I'll go back and put up my new sentry around here or near this dispenser, so there's at least some defense. But in general, I like to put it here because it defends the cart being pushed forward. With the cart reaching that slope, your sentry should already be up here, preferably, to defend you pushing the slope, because it can be a really hard place to push. The reason why I put it right here is because if it was right here, where many people place it, sure, it defends this area and it defends this area, which is both very good. But the problem is that soldiers can very easily jump up from behind there onto this locker room, walk this area and just snipe down your sentry outside of your range, and you can't really see them coming either before the rockets are hitting. So reacting to that with the Wrangler is hard, and if you notice, when I place it back here, the entrances are still both inside the sentry's view. So there is pretty much no drawback to placing here. It is also easier for you when you're here to jump back, heal it, and jump back, which you should be able to do. And the reason why you want to be here is because there should be a exit right there. You can upgrade this beforehand, or you can just let that thing be. I am going to simulate having a more defensive hold right now by pushing this stupid cart. So at some point before the third point has been capped, you should have been doing this. There's no real opportune moment to do this, but you'll just have to like find it in general on your own time. But you will move back to your spawn, put down an entrance, put down a dispenser, and smack your entrance as much as possible. Make sure you have the metal for it, because with some good timing we can place down a teleporter. Whoops. Upgrade it all to level 3 just in time as the dispenser is done building, like that. Grab the dispenser, go back, we come here, and we place down the dispenser there. We make sure it faces this way because of the screen. This is not something many people think about or notice, but the dispenser screens actually light up when you get close to them. So as I move in and out, you can see the light of the dispenser lighting up when I get close enough. This is important because when you exit this, it's not entirely visible and you can still mostly see it, but when you go to push the cart, you will immediately notice the warm glow of the dispenser, and you will now know exactly where you can always find health and ammo and all things you find precious right there in the little box of provisions. Having the cart being in this area around this turnbuckle, I like to move up my dispenser, which should be at level 3 at this point, right to this corner. This means that people running out here will be able to get health and ammo right around this corner, and they can keep this held while still being under the sweet defense of the sentry. What you can do is move the sentry out here to really hold this, because then we'll look over here while people are getting health from there. But in general, you don't have to really keep your sentry in mind at this point. It's just spy checking it, refilling it with ammo when you need to. But for movement or placement, it can stay there the rest of the match. But if you like holding this area specifically, you can move your sentry to around, like, here is it's possible, but as you can see, it doesn't defend the left entrance, and having it here is a bit too open. So in general, I don't like it here, but if you feel like you really need to defend the middle, you absolutely can. And that should be it. After this, it is very much up to your team to just destroy the hodgepodge of sentries that will be standing in here, all the spam coming in from here, coming out from here rather. you can change to the rescue range, just keep everything you have alive easier. But in general, your job is kind of over. Well, there's one last thing you could do, but this is very situational, and unless you see at least 3 people on the cart, don't do this. But you can move your sentry up here. This is very risky, partly because red people sort of like defending this area because of, it's a great blue flank, so defending it could be useful. Sometimes there are people here, which is also just, they will immediately see this. Sentries there will immediately shoot this down. It's a big attraction. People will see this immediately and shoot it down. It's rare for me to even get this up done building before I am killed together with it. But it can be helpful if you see like ×4, ×3 on the cart. You can just move it up blindly and be pretty sure that it will attract enough attention, or if it doesn't, it will get down building and kill whatever should be paying it attention. And if the rest of your team died, you can always keep pushing with the shotgun out, kill people as your sentry is helping you with something. So that summarizes my aggressive... Fuck that, that's it. I'm ending the video right there. Ugh.